For try accept, this is usually to test for our runtime errors because we do not really know what scenarios or the situation that something uh, exception will happen. So we are going to think of different scenarios that things may turn up to be, especially when it involves the user uh, entering certain fields that we provide for them. So, for example, we wanted the users to input some numbers, okay, like what we were talking about in the lecture. Okay, so we asked the users, please input some numbers, okay, from uh, a number from 1 to 10, for example. Okay, of course, we wanted to save this into a variable so that we can use it for later. Okay, so the thing is that now the input gives us a string, and we need to convert this to the integer. Okay, so we need to pass this, okay, using the int function. Okay, and for example, we want the number to be divided by um, the result equals to 10 divided by the this particular number. Okay, so things can happen here and over here. Okay, so the first problem is that the user may key in a string. So in this case, if the user keys in a string, okay, they will encounter an error. So let's try out Python try accept. Okay, okay, and enter A. Okay, so you see you give you a value error. Okay, because this converts to this cannot convert to a number, so this number is a value error, but actually it's supposed to be a type error over here because logically you're supposed to enter the number. uh, let's add a colon and space for aesthetic purpose. Okay, so this is one place where we may get a problem. Okay, the next one is that the user may actually enter 11, for example. Okay, but for 11 is fine because it still converts to a number, so the system still lets it through. So we have to resolve this, or we have to check for this particular problem with code name. Okay, with a if else statement that we will write. Okay. So let's write the if else statement. Okay, okay, let's do it later. Well, another error that may have a problem is that the user key in a 0. Okay, so the 0 will result in a 0 division error. Okay, because they divide by 0. So these are the few problems that may occur. Okay. Okay, let's not say from 1 to 10 because you know this will be resolved by the second one. So let's use please input a positive number, for example. Okay. So for a positive number, then we will have to check if let's say they enter a number, okay, a -1. Okay, so this is not handled by the system, so there's no runtime error on the -1. We have to actually write codes to preempt this problem. Okay, so to do that, we will have to use a try catch. Okay, so a try with the colon, the same thing. If you see a colon, okay, we will need to move the this indentation one indentation away. Okay, so we will have the accept. Okay, so like I said, the user's key a string instead of a number. This is what we call the type error. Okay. Okay. So but from over here, this is a value error we can see over here. So we will have to change this to a value because this is automatically being captured. Okay. So if it's a value error, because when we do this, they will throw a value error, and we will have to catch this. Okay, so usually, of course, we will just print out some error messages. Okay, error. Okay, uh, please input positive number. Next, we need to check that this number is actually a positive number. So this is more than 0. Okay. So a positive number, actually 0 is also a positive number. Okay, so we still have to accept the 0 number as well. Okay, so if it's less than 0, sorry, if it's less than 0, okay, then we will have to raise the error. So since we have used the value error here, we can use the uh, type error. Okay, or we can just give it a we can see what is the error that we can use. Okay, we can show certain things like maybe let's use okay, let's just use the type error. Okay, so it doesn't really matter over here. Okay, so we will raise the type error and then we have to catch it later. Okay, so we will have error, please input a positive number. Okay, and of course the last one is the 0 divide by 0 error. Okay, 0 division error, and please you please do not use 0. Okay, because we can give other better explanation. Okay, let's say for this, okay, do not please only enter number. Okay, so now we have these, so things they will go correctly. Okay, it doesn't go correctly, just that it will not crash, it will not throw an error over here like the what we have done before. So let's try again. So let's do the first one, which is the entering a string. Okay, so when you enter a string, they will say that, okay, please enter on let's only enter a number. So it uses this to show this error. Okay, so let's say if we do a negative number, let's say -1, you will tell you that please do use only a positive number. Okay, then of course, the last one is if they use 0, we will tell you not to use a 0. Okay, of course, we can make this more meaningful by putting in the value type error and the 0 division error. Okay, so another way is to, let's say, if the user actually keys in a number that is negative, we can do some tricks to it. For example, okay, okay, if this number, okay, so we can actually times uh, okay, number times -1 to make it positive. Let's say this is something you want to handle. Okay, so we times the number. Okay, so of course this will give you an error here. Okay, let's put in let's declare it first so that because this is a different block. Okay, so we can reverse it and then result equals to then divided by number. So we resolve this particular problem here. Okay, so let's say if this divided by 0, okay, we can straight away also give the value that the result is let's say a very huge number. Okay, so so instead of just telling the user that hey, you have an error, we can actually resolve this inside the exception. Okay, so uh, the user still can see some results for most of the cases. Okay, or you can just say that okay, if they they don't key a number, okay, then we just ignore the rest, just let it pass. Okay, so how the try except work is that whenever the error is activated, so let's say now I'm getting input, so when I key in a string over here, okay, straight away this will cause the error at this particular line. Okay, so the red color line here. So this time will create the value error. Okay, and it will jump over to this pass. So these three lines are actually ignored. Okay, similarly, let's say if they key in a negative number, so they will do this, this. Okay, because this is true. Okay, I will raise the error here, and they will straight away jump over to this particular line here. Okay, of course, they finish doing this, they will exit. Okay, they will not do the rest. Okay, and lastly, if at the 0 portion, so if you divide by 0, okay, this will raise the 0 division error. Okay, then they will straight away jump over to this particular line. So for this particular error, they will actually do until the end, then they will jump over to this particular statement.